Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to the latest edition of the We Can't Wrestle podcast. The brothers Max in here with you. I'm Nate. That's Aaron.
Hello, everybody.
And we are back once again doing Clash of the Champions. Our Clash of the Champions series continues this week. We are doing Clash of the Champions 23, which took place June 17th, 1993, at one of my favorite on-TV wrestling venues, the Norfolk Scope in Norfolk, Virginia. We've talked about it before. You have some of those arenas that are just so distinctive looking, like the show comes on, you're like, they're at the Scope, or they're at the Garden, or they hit,
Yeah. Just to maybe, well, they never went inside of it, but the Scope is kind of synonymous with WCW. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was one of their buildings, but it's got some WWF history too. It's the building that DX attempted to invade. That was where they were at.
Yeah.
If wrestling fans know what we're talking about, if wrestling fans know it, or if the fans listen and know what we're talking about, it was one of the craziest fucking things ever on TV. And if you don't know what we're talking about, it'd be the equivalent of, like, I don't know, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and trying to think, Jey Uso, like, pulling up to like an AEW building and just being like, "Let us in." And like you're like, "What the fuck is going on?"
But I always say about the Monday Night War era, I have that 70-30 opinion on it, in that living through it was amazing as a wrestling fan, especially because of what you knew of wrestling from being an 80s and 90s wrestling fan, and how it just shook things up. And then I look back on it now and think that it kind of ruined shit for me somewhat. Like, it was cool to live through. It was cool to live through, but a lot of things that carried over from the Attitude Era made, again, I always say it, it's not that I will always watch wrestling. It's not that I'm a fan, I'm not a fan, but a lot of the stuff that's carried over from the Attitude Era is what's made me casual fan, I guess. Not like as hardcore as I used to be.
Yeah.
But anyway,
and
yes,
every time I see that, sorry, I'm not gonna harp on something that's 4 years ahead of this.
Yeah.
But every time I've rewatched that, in my mind, I'm like, if I'm Eric Bischoff, I'm gonna let him in.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna send Barbarian, Meng, Scott Norton, and Steve Regal down there. Like, let those guys hop in the ring and then just send those four.
Yeah. Or I forget who said it. It was on like probably on the Rise and Fall of WCW DVD. I don't remember who said it, but somebody that worked at WCW, might have even been Bischoff, I don't know, said it was a big mistake. We should have let them ride their tank down the aisle. We should have just, how many people would have switched over to WCW if they would have actually, you know what I mean? It almost would have benefited WCW. Holy shit, DX is on Nitro?
Yeah. And like I said, let them ride their tank down there and then send those four guys. And before you send them each down there, be like, hey, you guys go do what we need you to do. There's an extra 10 grand.
And I don't think anybody would have. Because when you really think about it, I know that the wrestlers were invested in their company making it and winning the war. But to be perfectly honest, I don't know that if anybody from Nitro would have, or WCW would have walked into WWF TV or vice versa, I don't know that the guys would have beat each other up. Because at the end of the day, what if I want to work there later, or something? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, but you tell those three, you get four guys, say 10 grand.
Just go out and be there as an insurance policy.
Yeah, if they get out of pocket,
shoot,
do something about it. One of two things is going to happen. They're either going to, like, talk a little smack and run away, so then they look like pussies, or these four guys are going to hand those guys their ass. You know, like Hunter Hearst Helmsley wasn't Hunter Triple H wasn't even going to be. I don't want to say it. Triple H is an athlete, but he's not going to knock out Scott Norton.
Right.
What's Sean Waltman going to do against fucking Barbarian if shit gets real?
Yeah.
That's what I would have done. But anyway, like you said, North Scope, it's a great looking building. Their attendance was, if what I read was right, they had 6,000 people, which is a good turnout.
Do we have a Wayback Machine this week?
Yes, we do, and it's all new stuff. It's all new stuff.
Well,
yeah. Do you want the movies or the songs first?
I want the songs first, and I have a guess for one of each. I have a guess for one song and a guess for one movie.
All right. At least I'm thinking. Pretty sure these are both new. You can remind me if I'm wrong, but what do you think you said movies first, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right. What do you think the number 2 movie was?
Spring of 1990. I have a guess for number 1. I actually don't have a guess for number, but spring of 1993. I want to say the number 1 movie had to be Jurassic Park.
It was.
Okay. I don't know about number 2 though. No, be honest, I don't have any idea.
The number 2 movie was a movie that like a bunch of people liked, but I didn't. I thought it was kind of lame. And it's a Sylvester Stallone movie. It was Cliffhanger.
Yeah, not a big fan of that one.
The movie was pretty lame.
As far as action stars though go, if I remember correctly, I think one that I do like around this time is Last Action Hero with Schwarzenegger.
Oh, Last Action Hero is a fucking funny movie.
It's amazing. Like I love the criminal boss that gets everything fucking wrong, and oh man,
yeah.
when he
steps into the when he steps into the real, when he steps into the real world and he shoots that gas station attendant.
Yeah,
and then there's like no reaction. He's like, "Hello, I just shot somebody."
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's that guy. I'm talking about like his incompetent.
Oh, yeah.
Like the leader of the gang or the leader of the mob or whatever that he's like all the time like my boss is fucking stupid. Like that he's in the pool and he's like he did a complete 360 on me. And he's like it's a 180. If he did a complete 360, I don't know, he's trying to explain 180 and 360 this fucking idiot. It's really funny. It's a good movie. But I'm pretty sure that was like out around this time too.
Yeah. And when Arnold's character goes into the real world, like every action movie Arnold Schwarzenegger made in the real world starred Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone as the Terminator.
And
it was Arnold being able to make fun of himself.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you're a little younger and you've never check that movie out, definitely check it out. It's worth a watch. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, it is.
Cliffhanger stinks. I mean, it doesn't stink. It's just not. I'm not a big like that type of action movie guy anyway. Like I've watched the first 30 minutes of the first Fast and the Furious and never seen any more of them. Shit doesn't interest me. I don't care. I don't even know if they suck because I've never seen them.
I've seen a few. And they're all terrible. Everyone that I've seen. So now we're going to move into the song.
Yes, my guess for one of the top 2 songs, I don't know if would be 1 or 2, but I think it's one that I brought up last week because I know that 93 was when it became a bigger hit. I want to say at least one of the top 2 is Knockin' the Boots by H-Town.
Nope.
Oh, damn it.
I mean, unless the internet is lying to me, which it might be, the number 2 song was Dream Lover by Mariah Carey.
Mm-hmm.
And then the number one song in America at this point was I'll Be There For You by Bon Jovi.
Okay. Dream Lover was an insanely huge hit for Mariah Carey.
Yes, it was. And, oh, shit. The reason I'm saying, like, let's see if I could find this real quick. I want you guys to see how the sausage is made, but I was going to send it to you and I forgot to. Give me 1 second, sorry.
No problem. And of course, Bon Jovi in the early and mid 90s was one of the biggest, most popular touring bands of its generation, for sure. And I don't dislike I'm not like a huge Bon Jovi fan. Like, they're fine.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, yeah, today while I'm doing my shit around the house or whatever, I'm gonna rock out some Bon Jovi. But if I have a Spotify playlist just playing and Bon Jovi comes on, I'm not gonna change. I'm not gonna skip the song. I don't mind Bon Jovi.
Yeah, me neither. Oh, there was something funny and now I can't find it. It's not a big deal. Maybe I'll find it later. But I thought I took a picture of it. But it's all right.
Well, there it is. The Wayback Machine for this week, June 1993. So we're going to head back to the wrestling world.
Yes.
Clash of the Champions, like we said, Clash 23. Bill Watts is gone. Ric Flair is back.
Yes.
This one's kind of a reset. It's kind of a reset from what we saw last time. Which, I mean, there is I think a 6-month difference. I think the last one was in January. If I remember correctly. Let me see. It was either January or February. Yeah, like I said, we've got new. Yeah, January 13th was the last one, and this is June 17th. So Bill Watts is gone. I think at this point, Eric Bischoff has officially become director of wrestling operations for World Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, he's like basically completely in charge of what it looks like on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Dusty's the booker with a committee, probably. I'm assuming. I usually have my little thing up. There's actually a website that I have that shows you that during that time frame who was the lead booker or whatever. But anyway, I'm pretty sure Dusty's the lead booker with some sort of a committee. Flair's probably on the committee too, because if I remember correctly, when he came back from the WWF, that was one of the things they promised him, was that he could be on the booking committee, kind of steer his own ship, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, enough of that. Tony Schiavone and Jesse Ventura are on commentary. They open the show and discuss with us about how Ric Flair is returning to the ring tonight. He's been on WCW, but he has not yet wrestled on television. He is returning to the ring tonight. And that Paul Orndorff has suffered an injury, so his match with Ron Simmons will now be Ron Simmons versus Dick Slater.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Sorry. I knew I had it. And I love AI. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because it does sometimes it just it says funny shit. It's like I typed in, did the Ultimate Warrior ever wrestle Terry Funk? Something, just to see what happened,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it said, no, the Ultimate Warrior and Terry Funk did not have a professional wrestling match against each other, though Terry Funk did wrestle Road Warrior Animal who was tag team partners with the Ultimate Warrior, and it like goes into like tell you about like the history of the Ultimate Warrior and Road Warrior Hawk as a tag team.
So what you're saying is AI was rambling?
Yeah, and just making shit up. Because the Ultimate Warrior and Road Warrior Hawk were the legendary tag team, the Road Warriors.
Oof. How different would shit have been? I'm watching some superstars from '88, and they're the local promo stuff that it's from is from Boston. And they got a card coming up at the Boston Garden where it's Demolition and Mr. Fuji versus the Strike Force and the Ultimate Warrior. And I was like, Martel and Santana were like, God.
Got a team of this fucking nutbag. This fucking idiot nutbag. All right. Well, back into WCW.
Yeah, Ron Simmons comes out to face Dick Slater, and Ron Simmons is like wearing the colors of WCW. I don't know if that was intentional or what, but
I'm pretty sure it was.
He's wearing the purple and gold. Coming out to Don't Step to Ron. And then Dick Slater comes out, led to the ring by Paul Orndorff. And
which if I read
no, go ahead.
Which if what I read was accurate, Paul Orndorff didn't technically have a groin injury. Apparently what happened to Paul Orndorff was he got into an automobile accident while on the loop, and that's why he couldn't work that night. So that's why Dick Slater is replacing Paul Orndorff. So in other words, Paul Orndorff either dozed off or was drunk and crashed his car, and he couldn't work.
Couldn't work, but he made the town anyway. He's here.
He did.
He's not wrestling Ron Simmons. And of course, as I've said on the show before, and I don't like to. There's no way, shape, or form that I would say the guy sucks. But I'm just not a big fan of Dick Slater. I never was. I always thought he was a poor man's Terry Funk, trying to be Terry Funk all the time. And his style's kind of, I don't know. I've never been impressed with, I like Slater's team with Bunkhouse Buck. And that's probably the most I like Dick Slater, honestly.
Yeah.
Which we'll be getting to that. But
I just think he was a marginal. I think the best way to describe it, to me, he was just a marginal talent. Like he wasn't anybody that.
He was a guy in the territories that territories could bring in when they couldn't get Terry Funk to play Terry Funk.
Like Dick Slater never did anything to me that was offensive.
Right.
But he never did anything to me to ever. I was like, oh Jesus, look at that. He was just there.
And he was just there for this match too, because Ron Simmons dispatches him pretty quickly.
Yeah. I thought the finish was kind of like clunky, and like I think if you remember like kind of how the match went, it looked to me like Slater and Orndorff celebrated too early, because they did like the spot where they thought they won, and Ron hit Slater and Orndorff and rolled him up or hit him with the power slam or whatever. It just, the end of the match seemed really like all three of them were off like 3 steps.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, it was good that this was quick. And with a new regime in charge and stuff, it's like, I mean, and it's like that kind of for him through any regime, even when he's getting a push, but even more so than what we've discussed here the past few episodes where he's the champion, but he's not the main guy. Even more now that Bill Watts is gone. At this point, Ron is just stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate It's really unfortunate. Like I he's the guy that's like I always say about, I'm just going to compare an era. I'll just compare an era. But like I always say about Shelton Benjamin in like the early 2000s and stuff. And I know he got pushed. He got intercontinental title reigns and stuff, but he's one of those guys that I don't think he should have had a rocket strapped to him and he didn't. And I feel that way about Ron Simmons and WCW in the early 90s.
Oh, I do too. It's like, and if I was 11 years old or whatever, 92 or whatever, but if I would have been like an adult male and they're like, oh, we're going to put you in charge of this company, here's all the guys, like, I would have been like, well, that guy's at least my number 2, and we're going to take really good care of him.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
But they didn't.
Well, Ron Simmons goes over on Dick Slater here. We get Eric Bischoff and Larry Zbyszko giving us a little analysis. And then Eric Bischoff says, here's my brother.
Or I was just saying, my dad.
Michael Buffer.
Come in here, Dad.
Come on, Dad.
Michael Bischoff.
Michael Buffer's introduction to WCW.
Eric Buffer. Yeah, and Eric Bischoff has a hard-on right from the start for Michael Buffer. And, we can make fun, say what you want to say, but Michael Buffer is good at his fucking job.
Yep. And he and it's never, it's, I mean, actually it will come up. It will come up as we go through the clashes, but he also, when you think about it, is a huge part of WCW's aura in the Monday Night War era. He becomes the main event ring announcer for WCW essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, he kind of becomes a big part of the WCW package in the mid to late 90s.
Yeah, and you could, how do I say it? Like, I like a celebrity that might not be a wrestling fan that still takes it serious and doesn't phone it in.
Mm-hmm.
And he never half-assed it when he was doing those reintroductions.
Nope.
And on this thing, he made sure he knew what the guys' names were that he was being interviewed about. He's like, I think Ric Flair and Arn Anderson, or like I know those words were probably given to him,
but he's a fucking professional.
He still respected it, and yeah. I got no hate on Mike Buffer for
me neither.
Being part of WCW.
Undertaker! I just thought about him. I just thought about it at Royal Rumble.
It's like, boom. Undertaker!
He just says,
say the Undertaker. He just goes, Undertaker! And those people are like, fucking hell yeah! Undertaker!
I fucking love that shit. It's like you said, it's like, boom, Undertaker! It's almost like he's marking out for Undertaker.
Yeah, he doesn't go,
shit.
From Death Valley, California, 287 pounds.
The Phenom.
Undertaker! Yeah, it's just like, Undertaker! It's like those people that warned us about Ricola.
Shit. Well, the next matchup on the show is Lord Steven Regal. And man, it is hard. I don't know why. Maybe I just don't know why. But in my notes, whenever he's on anything we watch from WCW, for some reason, William Regal is just hammered into my brain. Even though at this time he's Lord Steven Regal, I always write down William Regal. But
that's stupid. It
doesn't matter.
He's one of those guys that, like, there's plenty of guys where, like, they work for both companies but I can still say, oh, this guy's a WWF guy or a WWE guy, and this guy's a WCW guy. You know, like Mick. Mick had a hell of a career in WCW, but to me, Mick Foley's a WWF guy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Vader he worked both, but Vader to me is a WCW guy.
Yep.
I am completely on the fence with Steve Regal.
I guess
I enjoyed both of his careers.
I guess, yeah, me too. But I guess since my brain says William Regal, I guess I'd have to say I look at him as a WWF guy overall, or WWE or whatever.
Yeah. But this match for me was like, oh man, it's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time versus one of my least favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yes, it is William. It is Lord Steven Regal against Marcus Alexander Bagwell, and of course, Lord Steven Regal is with Sir William, who is Bill Dundee. And I actually was watching some USWA from early '93 not too long ago,
and they gave him his send off.
Yeah, and it's like you don't see wrestling promotions do that very much. You could tell, like Lawler and Jerry Jarrett and all them were like, we're gonna give Dundee, we're gonna be like, we're cool with him leaving. He's doing what's best for him. Like they didn't shit on him on his way out. They didn't even job him out on his way out. I think he won his final match at the Coliseum.
Yeah, and he was one of the guys we were talking about, like that committee thing or whatever. Bill Dundee was on that committee.
Mm.
And the other thing did you want to talk more about little Billy?
No, that just came into my mind. Yeah. You know, yeah.
But when he comes out, I'm pretty sure they mentioned that Buff Bagwell was Rookie of the Year, and I'm like, this is his third year in a row being Rookie of the Year. How many times are you gonna be able to be Rookie of the Year, Marcus Bagwell?
Right. Like this word actually has a definition, you know.
Yeah. It's like you're becoming the guy that graduated high school that still goes to the high school parties at this point. And then during do you have a lot of notes on this match? Because I don't.
I was just looking, though. It looks like at this point we have. I'm sorry. It was bugging me. It looks like at this point right now there isn't really a committee. Flair is has some stroke, but the main bookers because Bischoff doesn't book at this point. He doesn't do any booking.
He was just in charge of what the show looks like.
Dusty Rhodes and Ole Anderson are kind of the guys writing the TV at this point. It was bothering me. I had to look it up. I'm sorry.
Well, I knew Bischoff's book and everything he talks about. Like when he got that job over Jim Ross, it wasn't like I'm gonna be in charge of everything. It was like I'm in charge of what the show looks like.
And you know what he told me personally, because it was when John Arezzi still had the Pro Wrestling Spotlight, I did the co-host chair one week.
Yeah.
And Bischoff was the guest that week. And I asked Bischoff I wanted to know, because I to be honest with you, I'm going to be honest, I've never read his book, but I wanted to know about him and Shivani. And according to what he told me, the drama with Jim Ross was real, but he told me that the drama with Shivani was not. Like, that's blown out of proportion. He said, when I got the job, me and Shivani, me and my wife went to dinner with Shivani and his wife, and Shivani said, whatever you want. You know, so I guess people blow the drama between him and Bischoff, him and Shivani out of
Shivani's talked about it. He said he put in for that job basically because his wife told him to. Because he's like, there's no way I'm going to get that job. and his wife is like, it's fucking good money, put in for it. And he said even after Bischoff got that job, Shivani was like, it's been nice knowing you, man. And Eric was like, what are you talking about? He's like, we're never going to be able to do this again. Like, you're on another fucking plateau now. It's like, I can't fucking eat dinner with you every single night. That's going to be fucking terrible for me.
Yeah, political nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fucking political grenade.
Well, they get some nice near falls for the babyface Bagwell during this match. Regal makes him look good, shines him up, but Regal winds up winning the match by holding the tights to pin Marcus Bagwell.
One of the only note I have, and I thought it was like a really cool spot, and it was watching it, you're like, yeah, that's why Steve William Regal's one of the fucking best to ever do it. During the match, like the thing they're selling, or the story of the match is Bagwell selling his knee.
Mm-hmm.
Like Regal takes out his knee, and if anybody ever did it before, I never noticed. But Regal hits a snapmare on Bagwell, and when he does it, he snapmares him into the ropes.
I guess he
snapmares Bagwell's like injured knee into the middle rope, and I'm like, that's fucking great. But anyway,
this is weird. Hold on, it's got a notification. It's got a notification on my phone of an email. I actually got an email while we're doing the show. Okay, all right, thanks. We can't wrestle at gmail.com, folks. Apparently somebody's listening. Some guy named Brad emailed me about last week, or the last show we did, which was the Clash 22.
Well, maybe Brad will replace Regamus, because I haven't heard from him very much.
Brad said, and it's simple, but we appreciate it, Brad, anyway. Again, anybody, we can't wrestle at gmail.com, or you can comment on our YouTube. Brad said, Cactus Jack hanging off the Thunder Cage while Jim Ross and Jesse Ventura try to end the last Clash is one of the wildest goddamn things I've ever seen.
Yes.
So thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Brad. Brad Rigamus.
Like, Brad Riggins. What?
No, Brad Rigamus, aka Nate.
Shut up. All right. Thank you, Brad, for your email. Back to the show that we're reviewing. Then we get, I know that you and I kind of differ on this guy, I think.
We do. We differ on both of them. But I will say something when we get to the end of it.
I like Max Payne.
I like Max Payne.
Okay, maybe we
Mountain Rock.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I can see that. Man Mountain Rock in his pajamas and his WWF guitar.
Yeah. With his onesie.
Well, I am a fan of Max Payne, and I actually don't mind Man Mountain Rock. But this interview is Eric Bischoff with Max Payne. And Max Payne has stolen Johnny B. Bad's Bad Blaster. And to be honest, with everyone listening, this is actually one of my pop, laugh my ass off every time I see it, favorite moments ever.
Oh,
because it's one of the biggest dick moves in the history of professional.
I'll give him his Bad Blaster back. Okay, let me say this about Max Payne. Okay. I like Max Payne in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, and you could only get like tapes that you could get. I don't know, I was 13 years old, so I wasn't like tape trading and shit,
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, I've watched the shit out of, like, Max Payne and Cactus Jack versus the Nasty Boys.
Yeah.
You know, like those hardcore matches and shit.
Plunder.
Like to me, that was like watching those four guys do their shit. That was like pre Foley going off the Hell in the Cell.
Yeah, and I don't want to cut you off, but that's also at that time, like Aaron's saying, you have to put yourself in the time frame. If you're talking 93, 94, how much actual, this is pre being able to go back and watch through the history of wrestling, how much Memphis and shit have we actually got to watch? You know what I mean? I've never, at this point in my life, I've never seen the concession brawl or any of that, you know? I was a kid in Ohio.
So to me, watching those guys do that shit, that was my concession stand brawl.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, Jesus Christ. And I'd watch the shit out of that fucking VHS tape, and my friends would come over and be like, you gotta watch this. I got this fucking tape from Suncoast. Look at this shit, you know? But talking about, we'll go back to it, like you're saying, like, Bischoff's like, you took his bad blaster, and he's like, I'll give it back to him. Just tell him to come out here. I'll give it back. You know? And then Johnny B. Bad comes out, and he wants his bad blaster back. And Max Payne's like, you want it? You got it, buddy. And he shoots him in the face with it. And in reality, you know it's just confetti.
Right.
But when you watch it, like the actual visual of it, it's like, that looks fucking insane. Like, it's fucking crazy looking. Like, Mark Merrow does a great job selling it, and the fucking bad blaster going off, and the fucking projectile looked fucking great on camera. Like, nothing happened to Mark Merrow.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the visual of it is like, that looked fucking crazy what just happened. It looks like he shot him in the it looks like he shot him in the face with a gun.
Yeah. And like I said, it's if you know, when you watch wrestling, if you're pretending that it's real, this Max Payne guy is one of the biggest assholes in wrestling history.
Yeah. Come back out.
Shot that man in the face.
Yeah, I'll give you your bazooka. Just come back in. No worries. There you go. Pop! Right in the fucking face.
But yeah, good shit. I liked that. I liked this segment. And then I'm glad we're not watching it, but they hype up that the search for Cactus Jack continues on WCW Saturday night this upcoming Saturday.
Lost in Cleveland.
Lost in Cleveland is taking place.
One of my favorite things about that is when Mick's talking about it. And Dusty's like, we want your wife and your kid, baby. What's your wife and your kid? He brought his wife around. He's like, we can't do that.
Your wife's too attractive, man.
Your wife's too attractive. So they made his wife some frumpy chick with like a fat baby. Yeah. Like, your family's too attractive, baby.
They wanted his wife to look more like Yolanda from the Heart Foundation Love Connection.
What's that on her face? I think it is her face.
And fucking him doing that fucking pops Brett, like Brett's like totally not kayfabing it at one point during that thing. Anyway.
Well, he's running away from her like she's a monster.
Shit. Anyway, back to WCW 93. Gary Michael Capetta, Kaputski in the ring. Well, okay, I'm sorry. We're still Gordon Soley.
Caputa.
I don't think Jesse's actually officially called him Kaputski yet, but
go back to Gary Michael Caputa.
Capetta announces the forfeit of Johnny B. Bad for his match with Max Payne. So the Z-Man comes out and faces up on Max Payne. Max gets a painkiller on him for the win. And I had a note here about Tom Zenk. Of early 90s WCW, Tom Zenk is Tito Santana. Why, do you ask, ladies and gentlemen, is Tom Zenk Tito Santana? Because Tom Zenk wins a lot. He wins a lot on syndicated TV. He wins a lot on the Superstation. When it comes to big events, Tom Zenk is the guy that gets run over by whoever they're pushing. He got run over by Vader. He got run over by Stan Hansen. He got run over by Max Payne. Like, he's the guy that they know can go out and put over that new heel they're trying to push. So in no way, shape, or form am I saying Tom Zenk is as great as Tito Santana, but for early 90s WCW, Tom Zenk is Tito Santana.
Yeah. Like, oh, we got this new guy. Who's going to take care of him and make him look great?
Tom Zenk.
Tommy Z. Get out there, Tommy Z.
Get out there, Z-Man.
Tom Zenk.
Be sexy and lose, baby.
You sexy loser.
You sexy loser.
It's the alternate Bob Seger song. Beautiful loser. Sexy loser.
Sexy loser, baby.
Yeah, beautiful loser. That should have been Tom Zenk's theme song. Beautiful loser. Norm Macdonald has a great joke. He said that a study says that 80% of women consider men with beards extremely attractive. This comes out of the University of Bob Seger. Or Bob Seger University, or however he said it. It doesn't, you can edit that out. But
yeah, no, it's great though. It's fucking great.
For the next match, I didn't even know. I didn't even write that down as a match. I didn't know what it was. I just put it as it was like a little in-ring segment. But the next match is for the NWA Championship. It's NWA champion Barry Windham versus Too Cold Scorpio. And one of the first notes I have is like, well, there's no way this is going to be bad.
And we're back for behind the scenes people. My Wi-Fi crashed. Must have been a squirrel. Yes, the next match on this Clash of the Champions is the NWA Championship match. It's Barry Windham defending the title against Too Cold Scorpio. I was very excited when I saw this.
Yes, me too.
I put down here Barry Windham's in the what I always call the window maker get up. Window maker, that's funny. Vince probably would be like, he's a glass worker.
Yeah. Maybe think of what was that G.I. Joe thing? The Vindo Viper.
Oh, the Vindo Viper is coming. Yeah. They're like preparing for it for 20 minutes. The Vindo Viper, and it's some old guy. But I did write down here. Did you notice? Because we were talking earlier about what a good businessman he was. And I mean, Michael Buffer charges you every time he says, "Let's get ready to rumble."
Yeah.
So for this match, he did not say, "Let's get ready to rumble." He said, "Man your battle stations." So WCW is like, we are only paying for one. Let's get ready to rumble tonight.
Yes. And the match itself is decent.
Oh, the crowd's fucking hot for it.
I was hot for it too. And like I said, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, which is fine. But like, the only note I have it because I was just watching the guy's work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, but it was fine, isn't saying that it was bad at all. Okay.
Right.
But like the only like real note I have is Barry and Too Cold too. But Barry Windham should have been on the name of like the biggest guys in wrestling history, and he's not. And it's a fucking shame.
Oh yeah, he's as far as like however many generation wrestlers, I think he's second generation. I don't think Blackjack Mulligan's dad wrestled. But as far as like X generation wrestler, he's one of the best of all. Like I always say the X generation, second, third, whatever. To me, the best X generation wrestler of all time is Randy Orton.
Yeah, but I'm not even saying
Barry
that.
Windham.
I'm saying like he should be like, like when you say, "Oh, who's your favorite wrestler?" Like when you ask a person our age, like, "Who's your favorite wrestler?" Or even people after our age, like, "Oh, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Roddy Piper." It should be like Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, Barry Windham. Like, I think it's insane that he's not.
I think what hurts Barry is a lot of the stop-start. What hurts him is a lot of the stop-start,
I know, but it's just like, to me, it's like insane that guy didn't have a bigger fucking career than he had.
Oh, yeah, like we discussed last week when we were talking about what's your favorite Barry Windham. I mean, for my money, possibly, and I know people are going to say it's sacrilegious because of the Steamboat matches or whatever. I think my favorite Ric Flair match is the 87 Ric Flair Barry Windham match, the hour match.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. Because Flair and Steamboat's great, but a lot of Flair and Steamboat looks, and I'm not shitting on it. I'm not. I know people love it, and I love it too, and they had great matches, but Windham and Flair look so much more natural and less choreographed,
Yeah.
That's my favorite Flair match, I think, is that Windham match. Other than, there's you have your Royal Rumble 92 or whatever, but a one-on-one championship Ric Flair match for what I've seen in my life. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. Barry's a fucking amazing talent.
He was even great when he was fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the stalker gimmick sucked, but he was still so fucking good even doing that.
Yeah.
It's insane how good he was. And yeah. He's kind of like Dustin. It's like even at his most out of shape, he was never bad.
Oh yeah.
It's like Dustin Rhodes, Barry Windham, and Adrian Adonis. Like no matter how out of shape they got, they were still better than half the fucking people on the roster.
Mm-hmm. Like Aaron said, this is a really good match. I don't have a lot of notes on it either because, again, like we always say, I'm watching the match. I'm not going to pause it and take a note here or pause it, take a note there. I'm getting caught up in the match and watching it. And I haven't watched this match in a long ass time, so it was kind of fresh to me. Really good. Two great workers. And I liked the finish. Like the finish was pretty much like Scorpio's high risk maneuver cost him, you know what I mean? Like his high risk style cost him the match because he goes to do an over the top deal onto Windham, and Windham fucking hits him with a hard ass punch to the jaw, gives him a DDT and pins him. But at no point did Scorpio, like that finish, it was perfect because during the match it was 50-50. The finish was essentially Scorpio fucked himself by doing a high risk maneuver, and Windham got the duke.
Clocked him.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it.
Jesse, the Body Ventura, and Tony Schiavone come back, talking to us about Beach Blast upcoming. And they talk about you can order video cassette of this show, blah, blah, blah. So I did the thing that you do once in a while. I actually called the number to order this video cassette, and the number to order this video cassette just gives you and it's discontinued. However, then my brain went, you know what I'm going to call? I'm going to call 1-900-737-4WWF. Because that was the WWF hotline forever. That's one of those ones. It's like, it's funny because 1-900-909-9900 and 1-900-737-4WWF are ingrained in my fucking brain. Yeah. So I called 737-4WWF, and that one is now a lonely guy hotline.
Okay.
Thank you for calling. The girls are waiting. And I was like, hang up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Tammy Sitch?
Shit. Eric Bischoff then does an interview with the team of Sting, the British Bulldog, and Dustin Rhodes for our upcoming 6-man tag team match against Rick Rude, Vader, and Sid.
And I don't want to get there wasn't a lot in that interview. It was what it was. But I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how I want to phrase this. And you can tell me if I'm like whatever. But to me, it was always weird. And it even then and watching it now, it's like it's weird seeing Davey Boy Smith in WCW.
Oh yeah, he doesn't fit. He doesn't fit.
He does not fit. I don't know why, but even the guy himself seems like off a step being in that company.
And then I'll say this: it applies to all of those guys, all of the fucking Stu guys. Never fit in WCW.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't fucking work.
Neidhart was in a few. Neidhart was in a few times, and he never fit.
Yeah,
actually,
on
this Clash, Jim Neidhart in the dark match beat Shanghai Pierce.
Yeah,
but
I don't get why. To me, like Dave, like the cup of coffees that Davey spent in WCW is like, you don't belong here.
Right. Oh, I agree. I totally agree. But yeah, the six man had put down Rick Rude, Big Van Vader, and Sid come out to the generic WCW bad guy music.
Yeah. I do like that they were selling the fact that Rick Rude's character didn't really like Sid or Vader. He was just teaming with them to get at Dustin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked that point. They're like, yeah. Like usually, like with the heels, they're like, whatever, slam them together. But Rude, I don't know if you noticed that they brought that up.
Yeah, he is his, especially now that Paulie's gone and the Dangerous Alliance isn't a thing anymore. Rude's his own animal, you know?
Yeah.
But of course, with the 6-man tag, we have Colonel Robert Parker and Harley Race on the outside, the managers. And I put down, I thought, and I don't know, maybe you disagree, but watching this match, because once again, I don't have a ton of notes on specific spots or anything. You have Rick Rude, Big Van Vader, and Psycho Sid, and Sid Vicious against Sting the Bulldog and Dustin Rhodes. And I put down here, I look at this match as a highlight match for Dustin Rhodes. Like, to me, the person that got the most out of this match was Dustin.
Yeah.
You know, he was the guy that was working the heels and getting the beat down and trying to get the hot tag and making little comebacks, and he can't get the hot. It seemed like a showcase for Dustin, this match. And everybody involved did business and put him over. You know, like this felt like a match to put Dustin over to me.
Yeah.
And the crowd is really hot.
Did you notice, like, kind of like in the middle of the match, and I never really seen him do it before or even after, but like in the middle of the match, fucking Sid does some like actual wrestling. Like he did a nip up and some chain, like with Dustin. He did like, I think it was with Dustin. He did like a nip up and some chain wrestling and shit. And I'm like, oh man, look at Sid go.
Yeah.
Like, good for you, buddy.
Well, we are proponents of Sid Vicious on this show anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But like, I like when a guy that people are like, oh, that guy can't. He's a fucking sucks. He can't wrestle. And then you see him do some shit, and you're like, oh, look at that. He can. He just doesn't because it doesn't work it doesn't work for his character.
Exactly.
Fucking it's idiot.
Like the people that shit on Hogan 80s matches. Man, it didn't have to be any more than what it was, and why would he fucking do more than what he needed to do?
Yeah. Guess what? Earthquake shouldn't be doing that shit.
Right.
Because he's Earthquake. Fucking moron. But if you really want him to, he can fuck you up. 3 ways of Saturday. Fucking Earthquake will tie you in a fucking knot.
Yeah, so the match, like I said, Dustin works a lot of the match against the heels. At one point then, when he goes to make the tag, it looks like he made the tag. The referee says, nope, you didn't make the tag. And at that point, the match breaks down. Vader and Sting go to the outside and kind of pair off. And Harley Race hits Dustin Rhodes with the Halliburton that he had, the Halliburton briefcase that he had. And
the United States title in it, by the way.
Yes. And Rick Rude pins Dustin Rhodes to win the match. But like I said, this match was, to me, and I know what you were saying about the Sid thing, that was awesome too, but this match really was a showcase for Dustin, and I thought it was well done. And the heels went over heading into the pay-per-view, and everything made sense.
And it was more, I don't want to say it, like, it got Vader, Sid, Sting, and Davey on the show. But this match was more to promote the Rude Dustin feud. Because it's basically the feud's like Rick Rude is saying that Dustin's not the United States champion because he has the belt. So anyway, yeah, but it was a really good match.
Thumbs up,
and
absolutely.
And Vader's your champ. It was the only thing that I'm saying, like, I don't like about it is there were times, because I love this WCW. Okay, like when I was a kid, I loved watching it or whatever. But they didn't do a good enough job of promoting their world champion. No matter who had it. Like when I watched, like when we watched like all that shit with Sting and the Black Scorpion and that happened, I'm like, oh man, they fucked Sting over with that. And then like you and I talked about like, oh, Ron just kind of seemed like lost in the middle, even though he's the world champion. It's like Vader's the world champion right now. And if you would have watched this match, you wouldn't, without knowing anything, like if you're just flipping down the channels and you turn this on, you have no idea that Vader's the world champion. Like your world champion shouldn't be buried in the middle of a 6-man match.
Yeah, and it's
I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense.
No, it makes total sense because from the time that Flair leaves in 91 until Hulk Hogan beats Flair for the title in 94, you're right. Like the champion, hold on. I take that back. From the time Flair leaves in 91 until we get the Vader Flair match at Starrcade 93. The champion, like you said, the champion's just another character. And unfortunately, it sucks because think of your champions. You had Sting, who was fucking over his shit. You had Ron Simmons, who you underappreciated. You have Vader, one of the top 3 big man wrestlers of all time.
He's a one-in-a-generation talent.
Yeah, doing great shit, and you're overshadowing your world's champion.
Yeah.
But I agree. I agree. And then Eric Bischoff and Larry Zbyszko are on. They're talking about the tag title match coming up, and that said tag title match is Ric Flair making his in-ring on television return in WCW, teaming with Arn Anderson against, of course, Steve Austin and Brian Pillman, the Hollywood Blondes.
Which means his 90-day just ended.
What? Yeah. His 90, the 90-day no compete clause or whatever.
Yeah.
Hollywood Blondes, 2 out of 3 falls. And I wrote down, just because I always think it's funny whenever I hear the theme, whoever comes out to it, because it's one WCW uses all the time, because I think it's the funniest use of it. I put down the Hollywood Blondes come out to Marty Jannetty's WCW music.
Yeah, this guy's supposed to be a rocker. And Marty
gets so slow. It's so.
Yeah, Marty's trying to hot step to it or whatever.
Yeah,
not working.
I'm glad you caught up. You caught on to what my joke, because I'm always like, oh, it's Marty Jannetty's WCW. Why did they give Marty Jannetty that music?
Yeah, it's kind of like Goldberg coming out to Pat Tanaka's theme song. What's going on? It's Pat Tanaka coming out to fight Hugh Morris. Who's this guy?
WCW and their music. I love Brett. I came out to my crappy WCW theme.
Came up to my shitty WCW music.
Oh shit. Remember how Jeff Jarrett's, they just added lyrics to Jeff Jarrett's, and that became
Rap is Crap.
Was it Rap is Crap, or was it the second one?
That was the second one.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, WCW and their music. But yes, this is How Can You Go Wrong? Ric Flair and Arn Anderson against Steve Austin and Brian Pillman. And I did note here, I don't know what I heard. Did you notice that, man, I don't know how I have down here, Buffer starts to introduce Flair and Anderson as the champions.
Yeah, no, that's
it's during, okay, that's okay, I'm sorry, that's after the first fall. Yes, that's what it is. I'm sorry. Yes.
It's a 2 out of 3 fall match. For the WCW Tag Team Championships. It's Arn Anderson and Ric Flair versus the Hollywood Blondes. One note I had was that I think it's crazy, and I mentioned this to you the other day when we were talking about getting ready to record this show, that in 1993, if you look at the pecking order of this match, it's Rick, on just their talent and what they've put into the business and just how you would rank them or whatever. It's Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Brian Pillman, and Steve Austin. And in 4 years, this guy's gonna just eclipse everybody in this fucking match.
Yeah.
And I thought, I don't know if you noticed, but when Austin was doing his heel work and he was in there with Anderson, he did he mocked he did a pantomime beer belly and then did a bow-legged walk, pointing at Arn Anderson. And I thought that shit was funny. And I really do think that these guys had a plan to match. but they had to start improvising because this Norfolk crowd was super duper ready for Ric Flair.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't think Flair was planned to get into this match as soon as he did, because like as soon as they started doing it was probably 12 seconds of we want Flair, that Flair just fucking tagged in, because it's like, if I don't tag in now, we're gonna shit the bed. You know what I mean? And I don't mean to talk too much about the match over you, but this is one of my favorite like WCW things ever, was this feud. And there's a great line, and I don't know if you caught it, but Tony Schiavone, it's Tony and Jess, right? Yeah, Tony and Jess. Tony's like, Ric Flair's in the match, and Ventura's talking about how old these guys are, which they're not. I think Arn's like 38 or something during this match.
We've talked about that before, about how old is a completely different thing nowadays than it was back then.
And Flair's not even old. Flair's probably in his 40s too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But Flair tags in and he's working, and Schiavone's like, Ric Flair is aged like a fine wine. And then Jesse's like, and Arn Anderson's aged like a bottle of Ripple. I was like, that's fucking funny. But what you were talking about is Anderson and Flair get the first fall. I can't remember who pinned who, and it doesn't matter. But as they're going to commercial, Michael Buffer, who was trying to be professional, so I'm not knocking him, sees the 1, 2, 3, and he's like, ladies and gentlemen, your new tag team champions, Arn Anderson and Ric Flair. And then it goes to commercial.
It fades away.
Yeah. So then they come back, and Schiavone and Ventura are like, the match is still going on. Your tag team champions are the Hollywood Blondes.
I want everyone to know.
It was just Michael Buffer going off muscle memory of the bell rang. Okay, here you go.
But I want everyone to know, just because Aaron brought it up, at the time of this match in 1993, Ric Flair was 44 years old.
And Arn Anderson was how old?
You ready?
You said Flair was 44?
Yeah.
Okay.
Arn Anderson was 35 years old when this match took place.
35?
35.
Yeah. And he's aging like a bottle of Ripple.
35. I turned 47 yesterday. So yeah, the age is a completely different thing now than it was back then.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I think it's hilarious. Like, this dude is 35 years old. All right. The match progresses. Let's see. Flair pins Pillman in the first fall. And that's when Michael Buffer starts to announce them, like Aaron said, out of muscle memory, just because, he's a ring announcer. He's not thinking 2 out of 3 falls. Obviously, it's just a slip up. Starts to introduce them as the champions they're not. And then the second fall, very quickly, the Blondes get disqualified. So now, Anderson and Flair are up 2 falls. But in the third fall, Barry Windham comes out and causes another disqualification by attacking Ric Flair. And You can't win a title on a disqualification.
Yes.
But I thought.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just gonna say I thought the match was well put together. All the workers did great, and I thought that the structure of the falls was fine. You know, like you want to keep the blondes the champions, but this is a big money match, so let's do it and let's make sure that they're still the champions, even though they lose. They're still the champions when the night is over.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't hate the match. I don't know if I completely liked the finish. I would have liked to maybe see, instead of Barry causing the DQ, maybe Barry interfering and like letting like Steve or Pillman like
get a quick fall on Flair or something.
Yeah, like I don't know if you'd want to put it over Flair because it was his first match back, but maybe Anderson,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But if you wanted to do Flair, you could say, "Oh, Steve pinned Flair," and then you could even move that into like a singles match on like a Saturday night of, "Hey, I pinned this guy," and like, "Oh, this is Flair's first match back on Saturday night or whatever." But I don't know.
In that respect,
I didn't like the flunky DQ finish. That was kind of like a jerk off thing, like kissing your cousin or whatever.
And then the Paul Roma is involved here because he's doing his deal as a horseman at this point. He comes out, and then Tony Schiavone, to end the show, does an interview at ringside with Barry Windham, who's pretty much just shitting on Flair. I'm the NWA champion, blah, blah, blah. Flair attacks him, and the show goes off with kind of a, insanity at the end.
Yeah, but the angle, like I'd have to watch more of it because I don't remember, just random shows.
Right.
Yeah. But I liked Wyndham's character's thought process, like in his mind. He's like, this guy left, he abandoned us, and I've been here, I've stuck around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you noticed that, but that was like his character's thought process was, this guy left us.
This is justification.
Yeah, and now he's back, and apparently he's just the greatest thing in the world. He fucking shit on you guys. He took the belt,
mm-hmm.
And left. But I stuck around, so why are you guys so great and like so happy to see this guy come back? He fucking left. Fuck him. And now that he's back, I'm just fucking chopped liver or whatever. You know what I mean?
Classic. Yeah, it's the Michael Hayes school of heels. A heel absolutely positively has to believe that he is justified in his actions. I'm right, you're wrong. Hulk Hogan's an asshole.
Yeah.
So as we close, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's all I had on that.
That's the end of Clash 23, and as we close up, as we do every time we do one of these shows, I put, do we take a step back? Did we stay static? Did we take a step up? And I can clearly say and honestly say, I think this show, other than for a few people, as things are changing here, one being, I'll just say Cactus Jack, and Ron Simmons. But overall, as a wrestling show, watching the promotion progress, I actually give this one a step up from the last show.
I think it is too. Like there wasn't anything on this show that I didn't enjoy.
Right. And I mean, I would give, and it's kind of crazy, I guess, considering the people involved in the main event. But I would actually give my favorite match on the show probably to Scorpio and Wyndham. I enjoyed that match the most. Mm-hmm. But I think that, the Max Payne, Johnny B. Bad thing was effective. Putting Dustin over in the 6-man was effective. You're putting over a young star, getting a new possible main eventer fired up. The main event was a great showcase of Flair being back, and he's back with the Horsemen, and obviously the Blondes are an amazing fucking tag team, and I just think overall this was a really good show. I enjoyed it. I didn't have many things to bitch about on this show.
I didn't either. Like you said, I thought it was a good one. It's much better than the last one.
Oh, definitely. So that being said, we're going to sign off for this week. Next week, it will be Clash of the Champions 24, August 18th, 1993, Daytona Beach, Florida, from the Ocean Center.
It's another big WCW building. They love that.
Yep. And the main event, let me see here, is going to be, spoiler alert, 30-something years later, Big Van Vader versus Davey Boy Smith for the championship. Do you have any parting words for our listeners this week?
Just keep listening. Like, share, do whatever you do on YouTube and all that to keep it going. And I just appreciate Brad and Romulus or whatever his name is.
Yeah, we hope Rigamus is okay.
Yeah, he ain't been around much.
You haven't heard much from Rigamus. Thank you, Brad, for your email as we did the show. I know Aaron thinks I just made it up, but I didn't. And we'll see everybody next week for Clash of the Champions 24. Have a great week, everybody, as fall approaches on the We Can't Wrestle podcast.